Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. In today's video, we are going to recap New Jersey Collecticon and then some of the extracurriculars that took place before and after, maybe during a little bit. But yeah, great time. Summer's flying by. Cleveland, a week break, New Jersey. This video is going to be sponsored by me, Catch 'em All Collectibles. Every description, my link tree, I believe, has a link to my website's buy list. I am buying packs always. We're in this crazy boom time. I think it's going to change. I think things will go back to some form of normalcy, maybe the new normal. But I don't think boxes will forever be double MSRP, 50% above MSRP out of the gate. But right now they are. So my distros don't have enough for me. There were supply delays. I was paying $8.50 a pack for White Flare and Black Bolt over the weekend, trying to get things immediately to PK and Ponga because I didn't have enough. And I'm paying $7.50 a pack now. As always, these prices are subject to change as market pricing changes, as my inventory levels change, as sell-through changes. But Black Bolt White Flare, I'm currently paying $7.50 a pack. Evolving Skies $24 a pack, $151, $9 a pack. Brilliant Stars $7.50, Crown Zenith $9.50, Fusion $11, and Chilling Reign $7.50. Every Monday I update. Quick overview for anyone not initiated on it. I am always paying 70% on like any pack, all the way back to XY, probably even earlier than that, but my website only goes back to XY base. The Hot Buylist are packs that I need or want even more, and I'm paying 80+%. Sometimes some of these prices are at times are 95% of market, nearly 100% of market on some of the older packs, especially that I'm just not getting too much of that I want more of. So yeah, I can pay PayPal goods and services up front and fully insured process. You ship to me, my PO box, PK's private mailbox, Ponga's private mailbox. All locations are fully insured on the inbound as long as you add signature tracking, UPS, USPS, FedEx, whatever carrier you want to use. And I can also do Zelle after receipt, friends and family after receipt, ACH, wire if it's a big enough transaction, but all fully insured always, just like my consignment services. So yeah, there's my little ad read for myself because I need packs for the streams. New Jersey Collecticon was a good time. It's been a whirlwind of a summer. The day after school ended for my kids, we went to Cleveland Collecticon, and then we did Niagara Falls afterwards. And I talked about that in a live stream. I didn't really do a video like this one to recap Cleveland Collecticon. But then a week off that was hectic for whatever various reasons we had going on. And then New Jersey. So last year, New Jersey recap, I'll try to link that one if I remember. But Ponga flew in. So I am a drive. I'm upstate New York. I'm about a 4.5-hour drive down to New Jersey. So Thursday is when the festivities started. And I picked up Ponga. I drove out to Syracuse Airport in my MetaZoo shirt, as is tradition. And I picked up Ponga. And from there, we were planning on, and we did attend beerskipalooza. Nice little homie get together on Friday. I will have some photos to show with all of this, but I'm going to start without the photos. I'll get into the slideshow in a little bit. I had a lot of meats prepped before I went to pick up Ponga. I actually had a brisket on the smoker. I had some pulled pork on the smoker, some picnic shoulders on the smoker. And I went to pick up Ponga, got him at the airport, and then I wanted to treat him to my favorite New York pizza. Last time he came around, we went to the kids' favorite place. They play cartoons on the TV at that place. Solid pizza, good pizza, but Ponga's like, that New York pizza is supposed to be so good, and that wasn't really all that special. Maybe we'll hear about it on Box Nostalgia. Maybe we'll hear about it in a Ponga recap somewhere, but I don't know. I'm a little worried that there's not going to be too many Collecticon recap videos out there. This might be one of the only ones. But I wanted to take him to where I went to high school, where I grew up, and that place was closed. I think they were in Italy. They were traveling, so they had that place closed. Their kids, though, have a pizzeria near the town that like my parents live in. So we went there, got some solid New York pizza, got some everything wings, a classic around here, around these parts. Pretty much, I think hot sauce, blue cheese. They call it everything, but it doesn't always have everything. Some places throw in their barbecue sauce, their honey mustard, or whatever. But this place has a solid everything sauce, and I think Ponga was a fan. I think it was a step up from the prior pizza that we had. And we did that at my parents' house. So Ponga I introduced Ponga to my parents. He had already met my dad. He met my mom, met all their cats and their dogs, and we had a good time. drinking IPAs once we got back to my house, drinking IPAs, and yeah, just hanging out, smoking meat. And I do. Let me start the slideshow now. At this point, I think I have it right here. So yeah, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. I guess I already got into some of the extracurriculars before I showed the cards. My intent, literally from the ordering of the photos, was like, let me do all the Pokemon business in the front, party in the back. Unfortunately, I don't actually have a mullet, but yeah, the mullet, the old mullet presentation, business in the front, party in the back. Um, what do I do at Collecticons these days? There's networking, there's going and there's like meeting consigners, doing consignment pickups. I have some consignments at my desk that I still have to get shipped out to the Fanatics Vault. Definitely reach out if you're interested in consigning. I think I've got them. No, I don't. Let's see. I do have them there. So another little ad spot. If you're interested in consigning, up to 95% payouts, fully insured process. I do pay PayPal friends and family, however you want to be paid. Shout out to that. But every time I go to a convention, I am prearranging some deal, some buy, some sell. I'm picking up a couple consignments. And what are all these cards? These are my son's $1 to $5 binder pickups. We go and we hit the binders hard. And I know, like I'm in the business space of Pokemon. I know that a lot of times that we're buying a $2 card, it's on TCG Player for 75 cents. I know a lot of times that we're buying dollar binder cards. They're 50-cent mass Japanese pickup. Maybe you can't pick up Japanese ARs for 50 cents in bulk anymore. I think it's more like $1.50 at this point. But I know that these things are achievable quite a bit cheaper. I probably have a lot of these things in my office somewhere, in my storage somewhere. But the kids really enjoy it. My son more than my daughter, but we go around and my son has a Pokédex binder. 1,025 Pokemon, I believe there are right now. We're getting a new generation relatively soon, so that's going to balloon from there, 1,100, 1,200, whatever it's going to be. But he made a list. He made a list of like 50 Pokemon that he needed for his binder, and he didn't get all of them, but he got most of them. So I see some Lucarios in there. Shout out to all the people too. I don't remember all the names. I wouldn't be able to remember them all. But people see kids having a good time flipping through binders at Collecticon, and some amount of them, some very minuscule amount of them, probably see like, hey, this is Dan. I actually had my Catch 'em All collectible shirt on. Some tiny portion of people are like, hey, I watched Dan's content. Some people told me as much. Let me throw his kids some extra cards. Let me throw them a pack, whatever maybe. And then, as with 99.9999% of humanity, most people have no clue who I am. They just see kids having a good time. They see the Pokemon shirts. I think my daughter had her Pikachu and Eevee shirt. I think my son had Gengar shirt or something. He must have had some Pokemon shirt on. But anyways, they see kids having a good time, and a lot of great people in the community, in the space, in the hobby. They just throw, and it's never anything crazy, but they throw. I say that it's often not anything crazy. They throw some bulk cards. They throw some Halloween packs. A couple Halloween packs my kids got handed, and we did have one individual, one woman that, like, I'm sure she didn't know me. I didn't know her, but she was just like leaving the convention, and she had certain cards that she had like brought, trying to trade for whatever she was after that day. She handed my son. I think she actually handed it to my wife for both my kids, and it was probably $40 or $50 worth of cards, like just random ARs and IRs and whatever. I know there was like the Japanese Ghastly that has the Gengar in the background. Crazy generosity out of people, just spreading the love of Pokemon. But anyways, these are my son's pickups. You do see a little bit of Metazoo there. We did go to the Metazoo booth. They did spin the wheel. I don't have a picture of it, I don't think. Let me check the next photo. The next photo might have my daughter's thing. I don't think it does. So shout out to Jet. I believe it's Jet Yates, right? Yeah, Jet Yates. My daughter probably has the one and only Chuck E. Cheese card signed by Jet Yates. But we went to the Metazoo booth. I talked with Dylan. I talked with Mark. I talked with a few people there. And they spun the wheel. They both got like a pack, I believe. In Cleveland, I think one of them got a convention pack. The other one got a booster pack. But they opened their pack and, hey, do you have any Jet Yates ones in there? My son's, you can see the one card in the bottom middle there. I forget what it's called. Can I zoom? I don't know how to zoom in on this view right here. But yeah, that thing in the bottom right there. Now I'm gonna be screwed up for all my other photos. But my daughter didn't pull any Jet Yates cards in her pack, so she was just, we had been to Chuck E. Cheese the day prior, and she had a really good time, and she was wearing her Chuck E. Cheese wristband for whatever reason. She had that signed by Jet Yates, so probably the first and the last Chuck E. Cheese wristband, one of one, a true grail of the hobby, to document my daughter's weekend. But anyways, these were his pickups, and then her pickups were, as I just showed for a second there on the second screen. She's very big on like cutesy stuff. He wants to do the whole Pokédex binder. She, if it's pink, if it's puffy, if it's cute and soft and snuggly, like she's all about it. So that is what her binder is generally looking like. She doesn't really go for as many as him, but a lot of times he'll be flipping through a $1 binder. I try to keep her from going through the $20, $30 binders. There's a lot of cute cards that are very expensive, but occasionally she'll pick a $5 and $8 card. I don't think there were too many this time around, but yeah, those are the pickups from the convention. We go, we spin the MetaZoo wheel, we hit the $1 binders, we take a picture. I think my daughter got a picture with Eevee. They both got a picture with Gengar at this one. I think it was Eevee and Pikachu at the last one. But yeah, they have a good time. We go to, last thing I wanted to mention as far as the convention goes, again, we're fast forwarded to Thursday right now. We will go back and we'll detail everything. But we are like Sunday afternoon crowd. The lines can get crazy at some of these things. The places can get super crowded. I feel like having vended over the past couple of years, having attended Saturday, Sunday, having attended both at multiple conventions, not always, but like almost unanimously, Saturday afternoon is the crazy busiest. It usually peaks around 12, 1 o'clock because the line kind of like unwinding, getting everyone in takes a while. And yeah, like if you go there at open on Saturday or Sunday, there's usually a wait. There's usually a wait on both days. We don't want to wait. We want to get in. We want to get out. We were probably there from Sunday at like 1:30 till Sunday at 4:30 or almost 5. Sunday it closes at 5. Saturday it closes at 6. But like we did everything we had to do then. I'm not gonna be able to remember everyone that I saw, but I got to see Chloe and Dean. I know Cool Trainer Ryan, Pokey Plumber, and Pokey Rev went there Saturday. I speak with Pokey Plumber a decent bit. I don't really talk with CTR or Rev at all, but I would have said hi. I've talked to them years and years ago, met them years and years ago. I would have said hi, but they only went Saturday. I only went Sunday. Is what it is. But I got to see Chloe and Dean. Got to see James. Talk with James and his wife for quite a bit. He had a little setup there. He was collecting consignments for his eBay operation, and man, he's had a couple crazy weeks here after his month off. But I got to see Edison. Got to see. I hate listing names because I'm gonna forget a million of them, but got to see a lot of great people. A lot of old friends, and got to meet some new people too. Got to meet some new people for the first time. Got to meet Denvy, one of the big buyers in the Fanatics live streams. So yeah, shout out to everybody that I mentioned and the way more people that I didn't mention. I think my next photos will be like beerskipalooza related. I'm terrible at taking photos. I don't take a whole lot of them. But yeah, so I'm gonna just go through the meat really quickly. These are both, so I'm recording this literally Monday at 10:30. I'm very nervous that this won't upload in time, so I'm gonna try to be a little bit quicker than I normally am. But this is gonna show meat from both New Jersey back on Thursday, Friday, as I was prepping, smoking things overnight to bring to beerskipalooza. And it's also gonna show some stuff from just last night. From Saturday to Sunday, I smoked some stuff for my son's birthday party. We had my son's birthday party, and I did pulled pork and I did brisket. Beerskipalooza, I also did beef ribs. I also did pork belly burnt ends, but I did hot dogs and hamburgers because there was going to be a bunch of kids at my son's birthday party. But I took pictures from both because I captured some nice videos that I wanted to include for the recap, because man, when you see a well cooked brisket, you'll see what I mean. But yeah, picnic roast, pork belly for the burn ends. We got some brisket. We got shotgun shells. I meant to make them at my birthday at the birthday party, but I forgot to. It is manicotti stuffed with meat and cheese wrapped in bacon, drizzled in barbecue sauce. I need to adjust how I did it. You can ask Ponga. The manicotti shells that were exposed, you can see some exposed portions there. Very, very crunchy. You need to like pre-boil them a little bit, but I'm excited to like work on that. All my recipes, my barbecue sauce recipe, my brisket, they're like works in progress. Briskets, I've probably made 20 of them now, 25 of them, I don't know. But this was the first time. Definitely need improvements from there. But this was what I had for my son's birthday. So the hamburgers weren't here, but 2 half picnic roasts, a brisket, and some hot dogs. This was Beerski's prep. So this was like all seasoned the night before. Mostly salt, pepper, garlic, couple secret seasonings, and the brisket. Pulled pork is a lot like seasoned salt, various mix of things, some black pepper and whatever. Same thing on the pork butt as the pork shoulder as the pork belly. At the top is all the skin from the pork belly and all the fat trimmings from the brisket. I rendered tallow that I use in various ingredients in various recipes, and I also when you're resting, when you're doing like a hot hold for the meats, put them in butcher paper, douse them in that tallow, that smoked tallow, and I hot held the stuff from Beerski's a little bit too hot. I did it in my oven. My oven reads 170 is the lowest it will go. It actually was more like 180 in practice. So that hot held overnight for like 8 hours, and it like overcooked it a little bit. The brisket was almost like, it was good. It was good at beerskipalooza, but it was better at my son's party because I adjusted and I didn't have to hot hold it as long either. But continuing on, that's on the smoker itself. Jam-packed. You got pork belly stacked in the top, and then everything going on down below. Here's the dino ribs, beef ribs, as they're called. 123A plate ribs, I believe, is like the FDA designated. That's like the proper terminology for it, whatever it may be. There's brisket and some shotgun shells. Continuing on. So this is at my parents' house. This is the setup that we had. My cargo liner in the back is just a mess because I had to fold up. Usually the third row is folded down because we just have luggage. The dog bed is right there. Ponga rode in the back with my dog. The kids in the middle in their car seats, my wife and I in the front. But shout out to Ponga for graciously taking the third row on the drive over to my parents there. Actually going down to New Jersey, my wife sat in the middle between my kids. Ponga sat up front. All of our luggage was in the back. This was just a quick drive over to get the pizza and wings at my parents' house and drop my dog off. My dog was watched by my parents while I was gone. So yeah, we did that. Shout out to Ponga for riding in the back. This is going back into like Pokemon. So I'm all over the place here. It's not really a mullet presentation. It's not business in the front, party in the back. Business party, all over the place. This is back to business. This is a corporate meal of sorts. This is a business meal. This is I forget what it was called, but I voiced my hesitation because I thought I had heard bad things. My family near the Heldrich, between the Heldrich and where I ended up booking for this trip, which I'll talk about a little bit. Between those two places, there was a lot of good restaurants. It was a big strip with like a lot of really, really solid restaurants. And last year, my family had gone to a couple places. I don't remember the names. Probably talked about them in last year's recap. And we had really good food. And I remember hearing about this Mexican place that people went to, and people were complaining about it. I thought I heard people complain about the food, but I evaporated all this food. All this food was eaten in totality, plus some of the chips and salsa. I got some kind of like Korean barbecue tacos, something like that. I think it was some kind of Korean meat or whatever. Really, really good. I thought I had heard people complain about the food. Maybe 1 or 2 people did. Last year it was a group of like 15 or 20 people that went, I think. I think their complaints, what I was told from some of the people in the party this year that went last year as well, they didn't split the check. So what I did when the check came, it was like 10 people. It was like $520. I think it was $500, and I left a little bit extra, even though they added the 18% for a large party. I just put down $520, and I'm like, pay me what you think you owe me. Like, I don't want to go through this whole. We've had history in the past where, yeah, we don't need to bring it back up. But the whole check thing, it's like I'm just gonna pay for the whole thing. Pay me what you feel like you owe me, and then it came out reasonable enough in the end. I think I paid a little bit more than I likely would have had to, but that's the way that things go. Not a big deal. this was the crew. This was the crew. Shout out to Legend of Luke. I'm really bad. I'm like in the moment. I'm really bad at like, hey, let's get a group photo, taking the phone out. I wish I would remember to do it more. But yeah, shout out to Luke here. I think he handed off his camera to one of the wait staff, and yeah, down in the middle. I guess I'll start at the left and then go clockwise. Spat, Ponga, Luke, myself, Beerski, you got BB, you got Jake, you got Hoot Hoot, Benji, Sterling, and Grimer. It was a solid crew, and I don't have photos of it. Again, my phone stays in my pocket mostly, but I did have. So Grimer, shout out to Grimer, he booked a suite. I think a few of these individuals ended up staying there. I think couches and maybe blow up mattress, whatever it may be. I didn't stay there myself. I originally had booked the Heldrich Hotel, the recommended hotel. If you Google the Heldrich Hotel in Edison, New Jersey, and you look at their reviews from 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I didn't do it myself because it looks like other people got there. Had nobody done it, I probably would have done it. They canceled me. I booked it like a month or two before. I probably booked it a month before the event, fairly late notice. But there was availability in the Collecticon block, and I booked it. And several other people did as well, apparently. They canceled the whole floor. If you read the Google reviews, apparently, like, some new event came in, they needed the whole floor. Maybe they were paying more money. It was crazy to me. I've booked lots of hotels over the years. My family, like, I never remember hearing anything about a hotel. Maybe hurricane season, maybe like some big natural disaster, whatever it may be. If the hotel had flooded, had something crazy like that happened, it wouldn't have been surprising. But the hotel literally canceled us. It's like a Pokemon pre-order situation. I pre-ordered my hotel, market price went up, I guess, demand went up, and they canceled the whole floor of people. They have like 4 or 5 negative Google reviews over it. Kind of crazy to me that a hotel would do that. But yeah, it is what it is. I ended up booking 10-minute walk. It was not too bad. It was down the other end of that strip of all the restaurants and stuff. Hyatt Regency, New Brunswick, if my memory serves me properly. Yeah, it was a solid hotel. I saw other Collecticon goers down at my hotel as well. Some of them, maybe the when it had been sold out, I think it sold out like a few days or a week after I had booked, or they also got canceled like I did. But yeah, the hotel cancel was something that I wanted to bring up because that was just crazy to me. I'm not going to like, oh, I'll never book at the Heldrich again, but I'll definitely have it in the back of my mind. Like if it's the recommended hotel, I'll probably still book it. I'll try to book it a little bit earlier. I wonder how many people showed up because like I'm good at checking my email. How many people showed up thinking they had a hotel that didn't see? Like all I got was an email saying, hey, you used to have a reservation with us, but we canceled you because somebody else was paying more money. They didn't even give me the opportunity. Like, why not scalp me? Why not say, hey, we know you paid this much, but like throw us another $50 or we're gonna cancel you. I probably would have thrown them another $50, and I would have like gotten a kick out of it because the Pokemon market that we're in and like the analogies between that and pre-orders. But anyways, continuing on, I'm on photo 14 out of 43 just for reference. Once we get to like the personal vacation type stuff, I'll probably be a fair bit quicker. But I know, as I said, this has been a little bit of both. It was a great weekend, great people. We had as we do, it is we talk about other things too. We talk about life, we talk about whatever, but a lot of business talk. Went on at this table. You got the Cardinal crews, not the whole Cardinal crew, but some of the Cardinal crew. You got Jake, you got BB, you got Legend of Luke, and you got Beerski involved in that operation, and myself and Ponga involved in the Catchable Collectibles operation. So there were a lot of comparing of notes. There was a lot of comparing business strategies and opportunities, and there was definitely some back and forth over some of the Juice Force 9.5% IPAs in New Jersey. I went to like a Walgreens around here in New York. You can go into a Walgreens, you can go into a CVS, you can go into a grocery store and buy beer. Every state is different. I remember back to racquetball days in college. We'd travel to Pennsylvania. We'd travel, like, you need to know the alcohol laws because it depends on, like, depending on the state, you get your alcohol at different locations. Some places, it's like a gas station can sell hard liquor. Some places, they won't sell any alcohol on Sunday before or after 10 a.m. or 12 p.m. or, like, whatever it may be. But I went to a Walgreens, and I'm like, I walked around, or I think, Walgreens or CVS. Like, you guys don't have beer here. Is that a New Jersey thing? And they're like, yep, go half mile that way, and right by the hotel, right by the Heldrich Hotel, there's actually a place that was open till like 2 a.m. or midnight or 2 a.m. I think they sold one thing till midnight. They could sell wine till midnight, but they could sell beer till 2 a.m. I think it was something like that. But anyways, we stocked up for the room, the suite where all these individuals resided. Great times. We ran out at one point of beer. People went down on a beer run. We got more because it was still before 2 a.m. 3 a.m. I stayed up till. It was like my IPAs. It was getting a little hazy there at the end, but it was a great time. Definitely a highlight of the trip as far as the Pokemon side of it goes. Continuing on from there. So this was, yeah, I'm all over the place. This was Friday, beerskipalooza. This was the shotgun shells in the bottom right. Bottom middle is the brisket that has been rated pretty heavily. Bottom left is the pork belly burnt ends. In the middle there, 2 bottles of my homemade barbecue sauce that I make by the gallon. Top middle is the beef ribs, and top left is the pulled pork. Ask the people. I think it all came out pretty good. The hot hold, though, definitely deteriorated the quality of some of it. In the future, if issues happen, mistakes are learning opportunities, right? I can't hot hold stuff in my oven for a long time. The lowest setting is 170, and I put thermometers in there. It's actually closer to 180. Too hot to hot hold stuff. My smoker goes all the way down to 140 for a hot hold. I tested that at my son's party yesterday, and that worked a lot better. So that will be what is done in the future. The thing that worries me about that is, like, I think it's a lot more likely to be poker yolk, a lot more likely to be foolproof. But yeah, going back to my engineering days, poke yolk they called it. I think it's like a Japanese thing. But yeah, I think it's a lot more foolproof, a lot more less likely to break doing it in the oven. The pellet smokers, pellets can get jammed, things can go on. I've never had it happen to myself, but it can happen. Anyways, continuing on. We don't save that for the barbecue channel when I talk about in-depth strategies for hot holding your brisket that's done 12 hours before you need it. Continuing on. Shout out to Chamois. So it is so I stayed at the Hyatt Regency New Brunswick, and then there's the Heldrich. It's like a quarter mile past the Heldrich, walking from the hotel I had to reserve this time. It's like this. I believe it's like a Mexican place, but they have shakes, they have smoothies, they have chicharrones, they have all kinds of like crazy good snacks. Fairly expensive. I think these things were like $10 a pop. We got 4 of them, and there was like $40. But we got 2. These were my kids' picks. An Oreo shake and a cotton candy lollipop shake that my daughter picked. My son picked the Oreo one. And then I don't think I have a picture of it, but my wife and I got smoothies. And these things lasted us, like, we took leftovers back to the room. Hindsight, going back, I think we got like 2 each night last year. Last year we got 2 one night, 2 the other night. That was a better play. 4 of them was a lot. 4 of them was a crazy amount, but we did finish those all. Chamois, very, very solid place to go get some snacks. Some healthy, some not healthy. This was the Edison Diner. So this is this was Friday on arrival. We didn't meet up with anybody. Until Saturday night after all of our Chuck E. Cheese escapades, which I'll cover in a minute. But yeah, this was Friday. We got in. We wanted a little snack before we went. Just laid low in the room mostly on Friday after the long drive. And then Saturday was Chuck E. Cheese. On the way to Chuck E. Cheese, we went to the Edison Diner. They had this like 4-course meal thing, and I'm like, I'm feeling 4-course meal right now. It had French onion soup, it had salad, it had some bread. That was all. This was all my stuff. And then I also got it was kind of a weird thing for a diner, which my wife mentioned, but it had scallop and shrimp scampi, which was actually really solid. Kind of a iffy thing to get at a diner, but it was really solid. I'm a big food guy. These recaps always have food. My daughter got the hot dog and French fries. My wife got some kind of a breakfast thing. My son picked a little bit of everything. Chuck E. Cheese. So this is the only photo I think I took at Chuck E. Cheese. You can kind of see me in the mirror there, I think, taking the photo. My wife and I did this game. I never knew this. We years ago, we used to have Chuck E. Cheeses around us. So when I was young, 30 years ago, we didn't have Chuck E. Cheeses. We had DZ, it was called, Discovery Zone. I don't know if that was regional. I don't know if that was national. But we had DZ growing up. Great place, a la Chuck E. Cheese. And pre-pandemic, we had Chuck E. Cheese, but it didn't survive the pandemic, our local one. This is, I believe, 4.5 hours away from us. I think this is one of the closest, if not the closest Chuck E. Cheese. So my kids see commercials. For whatever reason, they have commercials for Chuck E. Cheese around me where I live, but we don't actually have Chuck E. Cheese's. So we went there, and my son beat my daughter at this game. I beat my wife at this game. Every game is 1 credit, which was kind of cool. Other arcades, a lot of times it's like, hey, this one's 8 credits, which usually equates to like $2, like 25 cents a credit or something. But some of them are like $1 credits. I've been to some arcades where it's like 8 credits, and like, man, unless you're getting one of the higher deals, like $1 a credit, maybe you can get it down to 50 cents a credit. But anyways, we bought like an hour of gameplay, and then we did they did all the games they could in that time, and then they did some of the other like things in the back. But yeah, it was a good time. I mean, kids are always a big fan of the arcade. This was the Skylark Diner, I believe. Wife and kids. Son got waffle, daughter got bacon, eggs, whatever else is going on over there. I think French fries, bacon, egg, and French fries. And wife got chicken and waffles, and then I got chicken wings, mozzarella sticks, and loaded potato skins. This is like comfort food the next day. The greasier the food, the day after IPAs. So this is Sunday after Saturday night's festivities with all the Pokemon people. This is like, I don't get hungover, but next day after drinking a lot of IPAs, greasy food really helps. Greasy food really helps settle the stomach somehow, for some reason. Soda too. Nice Coca-Cola and some chicken wings and stuff. I think this place was actually a place I had been before. So a really weird vacation idea, but it was a good one. Back when I was younger, not like younger, high school. Back when I was in high school, my parents, 2 of their best friends, and then my sister and I, 6 of us, we went on a New Jersey trip years ago that it was focused around like diners, dive-ins, and drives. My parents used to watch that a decent bit. I mean, I used to watch it myself because it was on TV at home, and I can't say that I don't enjoy watching the good food be made. But we went to like 5 or 6 different places across the weekend in New Jersey. We did other things too. We might have went mini golf, and we might have went to the beach, wherever we went. But a lot of the trip was focused around just food. As you can see from my trip recaps, I'm 100% for that. Skylark Diner was on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, so I had been there before. I had been there 15, 20 years ago, whenever that trip was. I just wanted to bring up that point. Chickies and Pete's. We went last year. This place so shout out to Spat. It is the official sports bar of the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm a Jets fan, unfortunately. But they have chicken wings. They have crab legs. What more can you ask for? I think my next picture will show. So yeah, crab fries, they call them. The crinkle cut fries, nice, crispy, tasty. They got some kind of a seasoning on them, Old Bay-esque kind of, I think. And then cheese dipping sauce, can't go wrong there. Couple kinds of chicken wings. If you ever go, the buffalo wings were good. The dry rub, it was like steakhouse dry rub, fantastic. The wings were fantastic. The doused in garlic, doused in butter crab legs were amazing. The crab fries are always solid. I don't think I'll ever be able to go to a New Jersey Collecticon without hitting a Chickies and Pete's. There's probably some people watching this that are from around the area that are like, oh man, I can't believe you go to that place. It's rated like 4.3, 4.4. Most of the ones that I see, it's like a chain. It's like a small regional chain or in that area. And maybe there's some like mom and pop spots that aren't chains that are like do the same thing but better. But this place is an A+ in my book. Wildwoods. Took the Quaxleys to Wildwoods. So this was, Sunday we did Skylark Diner. We did the Convention Center. I already talked about that earlier. I talked about, one thing I didn't cover is like, not many people in our circle, I say that, but like, yeah, my circle, the people that you see on this channel, on PokeFlips, a lot of the people that I have overlap with, close friends in the space, not as many people are vending anymore. We actually didn't have a section. We didn't have a big section. Talking to a couple people, I ran into Daisuke, and I ran into Cloud. I think Cloud actually is one of them that I talked to, and he's like, hey, where's your guys' section? And I'm like, we don't really, not as many of us vend anymore. So he's like, yeah, I usually go, and I usually like buy out a bunch of people in your section. You guys usually have great things, priced really well, and you guys are reasonable. And Cloud said that, and somebody else said that too. They're like, hey, where are you guys? I want to come by and I want to buy stuff. And yeah, I think nobody, like there were a couple people that I knew vending, but like we didn't have a whole section. We didn't have like a whole when it used to be like a lot of the Pokenomics people, a lot of the people that watch Pokeflips and whatever. But that's definitely been a trend more lately. A lot of people streaming now. A lot of people going to buy instead of going to sell. And yeah, I'm in that same boat. I go to buy for the binders, the Quaxley's binders. But Wildwoods, shout out to Spat. Shout out to Spat for the hookup, the recommendations. He's a New Jersey frequenter. So he had some recommendations, which you'll see following, on where to go, where to stay, what to see. Maury's Pier was great. The hookup on that was awesome. Thank you, Spat, for everything. We talked a lot of consignment business. We talked a lot of we talked a lot of stuff in New Jersey with Spat amongst everyone else too. But this was by the beach balls. This was like right over Kitty Corner. We stayed at the Aquarius Hotel Motel, I believe it was. I thought I wrote it down somewhere. Maybe I have a picture of it, but Sam's Pizza Palace. So Spat did say, he gave me the disclaimer that like Ocean City had the pizza spot, but he recommended Sam's if I was going to get pizza. Kids love pizza. We always have to get it at some point. I think the next picture is from Max. So I try to slice at Max. I try to slice at Sam's. I would say I liked Max a little bit more than Sam's, but both of them were like solid pizza. Neither like to write home about, but they were both good enough. I think they were rated low 4s, but yeah, they were both fine. Kids like their slices too. There's my son right there, the little Quaxley. There's my Quaxleys right here. So at Maury's Pier, it's, for anyone who doesn't know, it's like 3 consecutive piers on Wildwood Beach, and there's 2 water parks and there's 3 like regular parks too. It was a great time. This was post water park, post riding all the rides. This was end of the night. So we had like 1-day passes where you could do all 3 parks. We did the 2 water parks, and then we did the one pier was more like the adult stuff. It was like the really big stuff that me and my daughter will definitely be going to in a few years once she's tall enough, but she's not tall enough. Like she's an adrenaline junkie like me. She would go skydiving. I'll show you Diggerland in a minute when we went on the zip line, but she wants to do zip lines. She wants to do she would go bungee, like she would do anything, but she's not old enough. She's not tall enough to. But her luck with the pick of ducks, with the pick of Quaxley, the average duck was worth like 5 points. And the way that it worked, you had to scan it on a little reader thing. It didn't show it on the bottom. The average duck, most ducks were worth 5 points. She picked 3 ducks, 20, 25, and 30. And she was 1 point away from getting like a pick, choose your prize. So I played once more. You could pay another $5. You could pick 3 more ducks, and it would accumulate. So she had choice of anything for $10. My son didn't score that much. I think he scored 35 between his 2 sets. So he got like 5 5-point ducks and 1 10-point duck, and he qualified for like a medium prize. My daughter wanted a cat that was like a medium prize. So I'm like, hey, we're gonna, like, he wanted something huge. She wanted the small cat. So I'm like, hey, you have, so he picked the cat. She picked the big thing that he wanted, and they traded, and it was perfect. But her luck on those pick-a-duck things is crazy. We played some games. We rode a bunch of rides. We did the lazy river. We did the couple water slides. It was a great time. Again, thank you, Spat, for the recommendations on that. This was what I thought Spat recommended. He recommended like John's water ice, and this was like Polish water ice. It was good. It was like almost like an Italian ice, but not really. It wasn't ice cream. It wasn't didn't have any lactose in it, I don't believe. But it was interesting. It was a decent little snack to have on the pier. So we're on, that was Monday at Maury's Pier. This is Tuesday. Taco Caballito in Cape May. Best meal of the trip. These Tijuana street fries were fantastic. They had a lot of cilantro, a lot of lime juice spread over them. They obviously had some pico going on there. They had a birria, I believe it was, and then nice seasoned fries. Kids were not a fan of this place, but Spat, thank you for recommending it. I did have to go. There was like a hot dog joint around the corner. So after I ate here, but my wife ate a little bit, she wasn't crazy about it. She got Americano tacos. I got like a sampler of, it was like a carne lover sampler. I don't remember what the 3 were. There was one like Korean one, like I had at the place in Edison, New Jersey, and then the other two I think one was burrito and one was something else. My wife got like Americano tacos. It tastes like the tacos we make at home with way more seasoning. She and the kids were not crazy about how much more of the seasoning it had in it, just taco seasoning and ground beef. So my wife like ate through it without really enjoying it. She liked the fries a lot. She did like the fries a lot, but she wasn't crazy about the tacos. I love the tacos. I love the fries. Kids did not eat much, but they had hot dogs and slushies around the corner afterwards. But yeah, thank you, Spat, for that shout out, that recommendation. That was the meal of the trip. That eclipsed Chickies and Pete's, which would probably be number 2. There's my tacos more up close. Cape May County Zoo. So yeah, we did we did lunch there at Taco Caballito, and then we went to the Cape May Zoo. After the Cape May Zoo, there was a playground outside. We shut it down. We stayed till the very end. The kids went and played on the playground. I walked a couple of routes inside of the zoo, did a couple like raids. I was catching Pokemon like crazy. Enjoying the animals and all that too. Had a good time. But Cape May County Zoo, it was free. So when we were in Cape May, this is something I almost forgot. When we were in Cape May, we tried walking to the beach quick because we hadn't yet. It was Tuesday. We tried walking to the beach to like touch the ocean. Kids hadn't been to the ocean. Wife wanted to get pictures of them in the ocean, let them play around a little bit on the beach. But we tried walking to the Cape May beach, and we got stopped at the beachfront, and the guy's like, "Where's your papers? Where's your tags?" I didn't know beach tags were a thing. I did a quick Google. Apparently, Wildwood beaches don't have beach tags. It's basically like a permit. You got to pay an entry fee, which is reasonable, fine, whatever. It is what it is. Cape May County Zoo was free, no entry fee. You got to just go in. But the beach, you needed beach tags. Wildwood, you didn't need beach tags. So we ended up, I think I have an ocean picture in here somewhere. Yeah, so late Tuesday night, after we got back from Cape May Zoo, after the playground, all that stuff, we walked over. Man, from our hotel was on that main strip where Maury's Pier and all that stuff is. Literally, like, the furthest street, it was on the beach. But the beach was like a half-mile walk to get from the road to the water. It was crazy long. But yeah, we maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. We just, we didn't go swimming. We didn't do anything. The lifeguards were all gone. The beach was almost empty. I didn't realize beaches were open till like 10, but we were there at like 8 o'clock. We were there pretty late. I think my wife would have been very nervous to have them swim at any time, even if there were lifeguards. So that wasn't going to be much of a thing. But yeah, we kicked around in the sand and the water, and the kids enjoyed that. This was Diggerland. So Diggerland was amazing. Diggerland was Wednesday. On the way home, we went to Diggerland. We have season passes to Water Safari. The owners of Water Safari also own Diggerland. So this is our luxurious lunch at Diggerland. Some nachos, chicken tenders, fries, mod sticks, and a Uncrustable. So Diggerland is literally like heavy equipment, heavy machinery you can go to and you can ride on. Big shout out to that. It was great for us because it was free. It was included in our season pass we had already for Water Safari. And this is a oh man, I'm gonna lose the name. This is a I forget what it's called, but anyways, there's a Ventrac. This is a Ventrac. There are skid steers. There are mini excavators. I think there's a picture of mini excavators. This is a dump truck. They bolt seats into a dump truck body, and it raises you up, and it dumps you, but it doesn't dump you because you're fastened to the seat. This was my daughter's favorite ride. I think I forgot to include a picture of it. There's my daughter there. There's my son over there on the right in the mini excavator. Bowling. You try to knock over pins with the mini excavator. There's a slide. There's a playground. I think my son's face is very shadowed, but I forgot to Quaxley him. You can actually dig. There's one spot where you can scoop sand. There's fire trucks that you can walk through. Overhead, there was like a 100-foot plus tall, hundreds of feet long zip line that cost $6 a person. My daughter and I rode it twice. It was my favorite ride in the place, so I was happy to pay a little extra and ride it. But my daughter's a daredevil. She's 4. She's turning 5 relatively soon. But I tell my wife, like, I went skydiving back in college the week before graduation. I'm gonna go skydiving again, and it's probably gonna be with her. My son, not so much of a thrill seeker, at least right now. Maybe that'll change. But she will go on anything and every ride that she's tall enough for. She gets a little sad when she's not tall enough, old enough or something. Niagara Falls had zip lines at one point. You had to be 7 to ride, 7 and 48 inches, I think. I had to tell her no. I had to tell her, like, sorry, you're not old enough. If we're here, when we're here in the future, and you're old enough, we can do it. Well, there was a zip line. She was tall enough. She was old enough. So we did it. We did it twice to make up for it. But shout out to Diggerland. If you are looking for a place to go and you are anywhere near there, I would recommend. Especially, like, I have a background. This was a check that I showed. It was from, what was the place called again? It was from Cracker Barrel. I don't think I had ever been to a Cracker Barrel, or not in a long time. $40 with tip. $40 with like a big tip for dinner for 4. Crazy cheap. I couldn't believe it. So I had to take a picture of the receipt. I don't think I took a picture of the meal. Pokeball punch wall. So my wife, instead of having a piñata for my son's birthday party, you punched out the thing, and then there were booster packs. There was candy. There was like Pokemon figures, all different kinds of stuff. Pokemon Hershey's. There's my pulls from that. Pokeball cakes and Ultra Ball cake. And then cupcakes that survived after the party. But yeah, what was I trying? Oh yeah, Diggerland. So let me go back full screen. Diggerland, like, I grew up, my dad, agricultural mechanic. I rode in massive tractors. I rode in bulldozers. I've operated bulldozers, snowmobiles, 4-wheelers, rode on motorcycles, dirt bikes, all kinds of stuff. I've done it all. Excavators, bucket loaders, dump trucks, everything. If you've never done any of that, Diggerland is probably like obscene. Like, I was riding, so my son was tall enough to operate some of the stuff himself. He was driving some of the stuff himself. I didn't even have to be in there. My wife didn't have to be in there with him. And I loved seeing how much they enjoyed it. It was a hot day, so like they got a little cranky towards the end, but they had a great time. And I was watching some adults though. Like, there was a time where the mini excavators, my son went in one, I went in one too. And it's like, I'm playing around, having a good time. But I've done it before. People that have probably, like, I mean, if you live in the city, it's kind of like foreign to me where I live. Some people don't have licenses. Some people don't own cars. So like, there are probably people there, 35 years old, 40 years old, who've never driven a car. Like, I saw some like 60-year-old guys. I saw 30, 40-year-old men, women, everything. And like, the look on their faces when they got out of that excavator, the look on their faces when they got out of the vent track that they drove loops around. Some of that was probably the first time they've ever like driven anything. It's like mind blowing to me. I've had go-karts and lawnmowers and like everything since I've been like 5. I've had all of that stuff. So go check out Diggerland. Not sponsored, but had a great time. Great time. It was awesome. I think that'll probably happen again in the future. Probably tied to a New Jersey Collecticon. It is 11 a.m. on Monday. This video goes live in 2 hours. I pray to Arceus that this will upload in time. It's been almost 50 minutes. I'm going to stop there. Again, if you want to sell to me, I'm always buying. If you want to consign with me, I'm always consigning. Feel free to reach out. Let me know your thoughts. Somebody hit me with a taco. Taco was the best meal of the trip. I had tacos twice. Hit me with a taco in chat if you made it all the way to the end. A little bit of business. Mostly party, though. Mostly party on this presentation. Maybe someday I'll look back for, like, oh, well, what was that place I went to? I'll be able to refer this video for future things or reflecting back in 20, 30 years. Hope it was enjoyable to you. I appreciate you all watching. I will catch you all later.